Yeah, man, I remember. Just give me a moment, please. Yeah? How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach when feeling out of sight for the ends of being and ideal grace. I love thee to the level of everyday's most quiet need by sun and candlelight. I love thee freely as men strive for right. I love thee purely as they turn from praise. I love thee with a passion put to use in my old griefs and with my childhood's faith. I love thee with a love I seemed to lose with my lost saints. I love thee with a breath, smiles, tears of all my life. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. Love has found its way, hearts today.
In our hearts today. When your love is beautiful, there's nothing that can go wrong. When two hearts beat together, it's like an everlasting song. It's like an everlasting song. The moon shines bright over yonder, yeah, and it makes me feel so fine. I'm so thankful, baby, that Jah has made you mine. I'm so thankful that Jah has made you mine. 'Cause love has found its way in our hearts today. Yeah. Love has found its way in our hearts today. In our hearts today. Well, feel your loving kindness and all your tenderness. I said all your tenderness. Yeah. Oh, lady, you made me so very happy. Even the blind man could see that love can be so beautiful. Love that's meant to be. Oh, love that's meant to be. 'Cause love has found its way in our hearts today. Love has found its way in our hearts today. In our hearts today. Oh lady, you bring me up, you bring me up, yeah. I never gonna let you slip through my finger. No way, no, 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 no. Oh lady, let me stay in your heart.
It's the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and the start of the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 13th day of the second month of 2023, and this month is being observed as Reggae Month and Heart Month, even as Black History Month celebrations ensue in America, Canada, England, and the Netherlands. Elsewhere in the world, there are other observances on this, the 13th day of February 2023. And so, for example, you'll find that today is being observed as World Radio Day. World Radio Day. This is also a relatively busy week because it's National Foster Care Recognition Week, Safer Sex Week, National Career Week, and today is International Condom Day. On this, the eve of Valentine's Day. Hoy es lunes, el 13 de febrero 2023. Y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa, Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continua para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
Your loving kindness and all your tenderness. I said,
Walk into Marjan's Pharmacy and you'll feel better. The service is clearly different. Marjan's Pharmacy, call 876-703-6335. The time by Marjan's Pharmacy is
2:15.
Need water for agricultural purposes? Apply to the National Irrigation Commission for your irrigation services. Let's grow smart and eat smart with irrigated agriculture. Call National Irrigation Commission at 876-927-6727. Visit their website at www.nicjamaica.com or visit any of their office locations today. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
It continues to be all smiles at Wellington Dental. We offer dental care for the entire family, including cleaning, filling, whitening, and other dental services. There's wheelchair access and an exciting play area for the children. Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Telephone 876-984-5482 or 876-749-3515. Your health is key to your wealth. Suffering from muscle, joint, neck, back, and other pain? The Rehabilitation Institute of the Caribbean, in association with Winchester MRI, Immune Active Denk, and Almighty Studios present Rehabilitation Now, a 30-minute feature on physical medicine and rehabilitation for persons overcoming pain or dysfunction from injury or disease that affects muscles, tendons, nerves, and joints. Rehabilitation Now with rehabilitation physician Dr. Paula Dawson and host Alicia Taylor airs every Friday at 3:30 p.m. during Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106. Free your body from aches and pain with Rehabilitation Now, right here on Power 106 FM.
Ce lundi, le 13 février 2023, et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez, où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue!
The moon shines bright over yonder.
All we're saying is it's Monday, the 13th of February, 2023, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. We started out this afternoon with the piece entitled, How Do I Love Thee? How Do I Love Thee? By the great Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And we paired that with Love Has Found Its Way by the great crowned prince, the great crowned prince of reggae, Dennis Emmanuel Brown. And that's just the eve. For this, the eve of Valentine's Day. Tomorrow is the big day. And this country and its people are quite something. In one breath, we can take your breath away, literally and figuratively. And that could be the end of you. In another breath, we can sweep you off your feet and give you a feeling of being the only one in the world. So we can actually do both. But what we actually do depends on what we choose to do. And when we choose to do what we do, and how we choose to do what we do, and why we choose to do what we do. There is no doubt that we still have honest men and women of integrity who can be trusted not only with our material things, but those priceless, precious emotions. If love has found its way for you this week, more power to you. But we have to be careful that we're not just masquerading. We have to be careful and mindful that we're not masquerading at this time of year, or during this week, or tomorrow, Valentine's Day. Let's just keep it real. I'm a big fan of real people. Real people. Not fakes. Real people. And if more of us were to start from that premise of being real, being honest, being trustworthy, being truthful, being genuinely kind and loving and caring, and not just on the eve of Valentine's Day or on Valentine's Day or during this week of Valentine's Day and Valentine's Day itself. When you look at the inventory of teddy bears that apparently was brought in just in time for Valentine's Day. So a whole section of Premier Plaza is taken up with these huge teddy bears, and everything red and white and lots of pink and so on and so forth. And it's beautiful. Love is lovely. Love is lovely. War is ugly. Love is lovely, and we should do more to engender love. We should do more to nurture love. We should do more to encourage love. And so we hope on a day like today, the eve of St. Valentine's Day, that love has indeed found its way. And that this is your turning point, our turning point. If ever there was a time, for such a time as this, a turning point when we will love more and lie less, love more and steal less, love more and curse less, and we could go on and on and on. But then we don't have to wait for the rest of the world to get to this point. You in your small corner and I in mine. That song we used to sing in basic school. All it takes is one person. And you'll be amazed at the power of one. Just like the power of love. The power of one. The power of love. And yes, we know there's a song for that too. Love is lovely, Jamaicans. Love is lovely. War is ugly. Let's love more. How about that? On this, the eve of Valentine's Day. Thank you all so much for joining us. Good afternoon to folks, Janelle, Joan Richardson, Lady Joan in Bermuda. You could teach us a thing or two about love because you've been married to your husband, Willard, for, I don't want to rob you of it, of the years, but let's just say quite a long time. Quite a long time. And it seems it gets better with age. Because I've been in your company and I've seen you both enjoying the company of each other. So you could teach us a thing or two, couldn't you? I'm sure you could. And good afternoon as well to your daughter Roxy and your granddaughter Amira. Sharon Frey, hello to you. Audrey Smith, welcome. Orlando Dillon in New Jersey, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Ras Asta Black, welcome. Norman Hines in St. Thomas, good to have you on board. Jones Dolores in California, I believe. Good afternoon to you. Peter Barkley is in Bermuda. Good afternoon, Peter Barkley. Mr. President, how are you, sir? Desreen Cuff, hello to you too. Jeannie Chambers is tuned in. Thank you very much for joining us, Jeannie Chambers. Sandra Green, welcome. Keep those comments coming in here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. As much as we're trying to be really happy and chummy this afternoon, it's just trying to lighten the burden of death and destruction which continues to stalk this country of ours. A mother, as the police reports tell us, a mother makes the conscious decision, apparently, or can we say that? Do we know if it was a conscious decision? To take her life and then the life, or to take her daughter's life and then to take her own life and set the building ablaze. Set the building ablaze as a means of arriving at some kind of completion. And then the police blotters remind us of how vulnerable some of us are and how susceptible to criminal behavior. So we really need more love in more ways than one. We really need more love. And some of the conditions some of us live under, we've been living under those conditions for a long time. And then there's the innocent child who decides to assist in fetching water, and tragedy occurs. And the youngster sadly perishes in a tank of water. So many sad stories. But underneath it all, we have to keep that fire burning, that fire of love. Love. It does make a difference. It does make a difference between war and peace, between good and evil. May love continue to find its way in the hearts and minds and homes and communities and workplaces in this country of ours. There's more after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
RJR, Dina Group.
Both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm focuses on the parish of Westmoreland at Longpang Supermarket, Tuesday, February 14 from 2 to 5 p.m. as the RJ Gleaner Group continues its cross-country tour. Tune in as the team shares the success stories and issues facing the parish, as well as speak to our cross-country tour partners. This broadcast is brought to you by the Population and Housing Census. You count, we count, all of we count. In association with Caribbean Dreams, Sunshine Snacks, Access Financial, Link, The Guardian Group, Digistar Foundation, H&L Rapid True Value and H&L Agro, Tranback Tonic Wine, Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Gateway Cooperative Credit Union, Development Bank of Jamaica, and Q Mall. It's a cross-country invasion. It's a cross-country.
Poor roads a major concern? What about those drains that are in need of repair or cleaning? Who's responsible for repairing my road and when will it be done? Join us this and every Tuesday morning at 8 during Morning Agenda as we travel on our roads with the National Works Agency and get answers to these and other concerns. You're welcome to visit their website at www.nwa.gov.jm. See the tender notices link for projects to be undertaken. You may also call them toll-free at 1-888-429-5NWA. That's 1-888-429-5692, or follow them on Twitter at NWA_JA and Facebook at www.facebook.com/NWA Jamaica. The National Works Agency, developing safe, reliable, and quality roads.
It is a Monday afternoon just after 2:30, and that means time for Land Solutions. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land. You've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4113-5. 876-922-4113-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number for Land Solutions, 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com, landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com, gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. That's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged to call ahead before turning up at the law offices of Brown, Findley and Company. Those numbers to call: 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. And there's a lawyer on duty pretty much every day, but the senior lawyers usually encourage those seeking assistance to present themselves on a Thursday at the Ocho Rios law offices of Brown, Findley and Company. And we look forward to your full participation in today's edition of Land Solutions. In a moment, let's say hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Attorney at Law, Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan, and good afternoon to the listeners. Welcome again to another episode of Land Solutions. The numbers to call 922-411-325, and the text line is, or the WhatsApp line, 387-3183. And we're inviting our listeners to call in. Let's talk about land. Where are we going with the land? You realize that every corner of the country is being developed. I had reason to go out to St. Thomas on Friday, and I saw the massive road work being done. I want to remind persons that if your land has been taken and you can't produce a title, you're not going to be compensated. And a lot of times, it's after the road work that the family members start coming forward. And the sad thing is that in a lot of situations like this, what happens is family land, and persons have nothing to use to show ownership, so they will never ever get compensation. And the part about that is sad is that many of these persons will never be able to get a survey diagram now because the boundaries have moved, the road is there, they don't know where your land started and where it ended. So I'm saying to persons all over, even have a survey diagram. Suppose you might say, I don't want a title right now or I can't afford a title now. It's always in your best interest to get a survey diagram and even have that to show your ownership and get it updated. Remember, after 7 years, your diagram needs to be updated. So I'm encouraging persons. We know we always say the title is a latent need. You don't need it until you need it. And when you need it, you'll need it like yesterday. So we're saying try to get your title before yesterday comes. All right, even the day before yesterday, try to get the title immediately. You might see it's not urgent, you don't really need it now, but I'm begging everybody, get a title. So many persons come into the office and what they come about is to pay taxes. That will come. When you get a title, you come to pay taxes. Your aim is really not just to pay taxes. Your aim really should be to get a title. Because anybody can pay taxes. The government will not refuse the revenue from anybody who goes to pay. What you need to do is to protect your interest in the property by getting a registered title. The number is to call 922-411-325 and the text line is 387-3183. You can also send me a WhatsApp number, a WhatsApp message on that number, 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. That's the WhatsApp number. And I'm encouraging my listeners to also give me a call at 876-922-411-325. I want to look at a text message that I have. My grandmother died about 30 years ago, made a will and gave all her property to my father. She gave her sister a piece and she took all of it. He lost the will. Wow. That's a little troublesome. And before I answer that, I'm going to encourage persons, if you have made a will, give some copies to persons. So you must have some persons you can trust. As I say, when we do wills in our office, we always do at least 4. We give the client 3 and we keep 1. So if you should lose yours, we'll have ours. So I'm encouraging persons, you have a will, get a copy somewhere. So if it is lost, the copy can be used. Of course, to use the copy is going to be time consuming because you have to apply to the court. But make an application to prove copy will. And it's an application that you have to go before a judge and explain why the judge should grant the order to say the copy is a legitimate copy. So you have to explain to the court how you got that copy, and you have to, what we call, rebut the presumption. You have to show to the court that the person did not destroy the will. The person who made the will did not destroy it. Because you would say, oh, I have a copy, but maybe the person tore it up and said, I'm not giving any of these children my property again. So you have to show to the court and convince the court that the person who made the will did not, in fact, destroy the will. Number to call 922-411-325, text line, WhatsApp line 387-3183. 387-3183.
We have a afternoon, Ms. Brown. We have a message on the Power 106 WhatsApp number for you. So it says, Land Solutions. I am the executor for an estate, and the probate for the will has been granted for approximately 7 months. To date, I have not received same from the lawyer who was retained to carry out this process. The lawyer refused to hand me the probate because it was paid for by one of the beneficiaries who lives abroad. I will have to wait until this person comes to Jamaica and a meeting is arranged with both of us and the lawyer. Is this the way probates are handled? That's question number one. If you can remember that and hold that for a moment as we go to question number two, or would you like to take number one first, Ms. Brown? All right. Number two is if one of the beneficiaries decides to sell his share of a property, should the value be the current value or the value at the time of the person's death 12 years ago?
It must be the value of today's date, the market value today. Suppose the father died 50 years ago. You could not be using that whole value. So it would have to be the market value. And in terms of the dynamics, we have an echo, I guess, because you're online. Has an obligation to give the executor the probate because it's really the executor's responsibility. That so I think that you could push back a bit, but try to see if you can, as best as possible, work it out in an amicable way by talking to the beneficiary and get the beneficiary's permission. But the lawyer could not give the beneficiary the probate even though that person has paid. The lawyer needs to account to you, the executor, because it is your responsibility. And remember, after the probate, the lawyer has to clear the stamp of it, so he won't be able to give it to you immediately. So that might be a reason for the lag as well in time.
That's it. Thank you, Ms. Brown. Go ahead.
Thank you, Dervan.
Okay.
So the numbers to call 922-411-325 and the text line 387-3183. So let's just recap what Dervan asked a while ago, what the listener asked through Dervan a while ago. So the listener is saying a beneficiary wants to sell his or her share of the estate. So your father died leaving property, you want to sell your share. What value should be used? Of course, it could not be the value at the date that he died. It has to be the value of the property today. I get a valuation today when I'm going to sell it and use that as the basis for my valuation. Okay, and certainly not the value of when my father died. And it's really the probate and the responsibility to get the probate and to share the estate, regardless of who has paid for it. That responsibility is really the responsibility of the executor. The executor is the one who has to distribute the estate, share everything according to the will, and really should cover the costs to the beneficiary. So the attorney waiting on the beneficiary to come is really unusual. It's really unusual. Let me go back to the question I started with to see that your father made a will within the property to your grandmother died 30 years ago, made a will, gave all the property to your father. She gave her sister a piece and the sister took all of it because you have lost the will. You're going to settle that in court because if the mother died and you can't find the will and nobody can account for the will, then your father died, then the property should go to your father's estate. Okay, and not to the sister. So it's something that you might have to take up in court, but I'm begging persons to not take too long because we have something where we say a matter is statute barred, have waited too long to go before the court, so you have lost your right. So a lot of us are waiting too long to deal with property matters, only to realize that it is no longer, okay, the court will no longer entertain you because your time has passed. So don't feel that you can wait for 50, 60, 70 years and say, I didn't know, or I was a child when it happened, and now you're an adult. We have to act quickly because time is not going to wait on anybody. And to say that I did not know is not an excuse. But we always say ignorance of the law is no excuse. So to say I did not know that I should take up the matter is not good enough. The same thing with protecting your property when it comes to adverse claims. We are encouraging persons to deal with their matters expeditiously. The numbers to call 922-411-325 and the text line is 387-3183. Good day, Miss Bro. My mother and her siblings are on a piece of land that belonged to their grandmother and aunt. Both persons' names are on the title as joint tenants, and they are now both deceased. The property cannot be found. How can my mom and siblings go about getting a new title in their names? The first thing when I hear a question like this, I ask this client, can the property be cut up? Because I like when everybody have their own title for their little pieces. And I think everybody tries to tell me that time is up on me. I return to the question. This is Land Solutions. I'm Gloria Brown.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45 at Flagstaff Bakery. The proof is in the taste. Try our freshly baked, mouth-watering Easter buns, show breads, and regular hardo breads. Discover why Flagstaff Bakery is Montego Bay's favorite for so many years. Located at 17 Barnett Street, telephone 876-952-5665. We're the best in the West.
Ventura Photo and Video Services, your one-stop shop for all your photography and videography needs. For your 15 minutes passport, digital ID, studio portraits, glamour and maternity shoots, albums, frames, cameras, batteries, memory cards, thumb drives, and other photographic supplies. Serving you with distinction at our 3 locations, 22 Market Street and Shop 26B, the Annex Fairview Shopping Center in Montego Bay, and Water Square in Falmouth. Telephone 876-952-2937 or 876-940-7444. We're the memory makers, Ventura.
You're listening to Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call. 876-922-4113-5. 876-922-4113-5. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is located at Suite 39 in the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged to call ahead before turning up at the law offices of Brown, Findley and Company. The numbers to call, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. You should know as well that they do have lawyers pretty much on duty every single day of the work week. But the senior attorneys like Attorney at Law Gloria Brown and also Attorney at Law Calicia Findley, they're usually at the Ocho Rios offices of the law firm Brown, Findley and Company on a Thursday from 10 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. Right, so let's send you back to Attorney at Law Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Please remember the numbers to call 922-411-325 and the text line 387-3183. I go back to the text message I was reading. Good day, Miss Brown. My mother and her siblings are on a piece of land that belonged to their grandmother and aunt. Both persons' names are on the title as joint tenants, and they are now both deceased. The title cannot be found. How can my mom and siblings go about getting a new title in their names? So the first thing I would suggest is that, but what I would want to know is which parish it is. That would be very, very important for me to know what parish it is so I could properly advise you. And I would love to know how long your relatives have been on the title. And I'd also love to see a copy of the title to see what it says about subdivision, if anything. But if the title doesn't say anything about subdivision, the parents have been there for more than 12 years and it's outside of Kingston and certain parts of Kingston and St. Andrew and Portmore. It's not in Kingston and St. Andrew. Even if it's in Kingston and St. Andrew, it's in the Rockall area, the Lawrence Tavern area, and I'll tell you another area, and the Above Rocks is St. Catherine. So the Golden Spring. If it's in Golden Spring, Rockall, okay, I can assist you, but I need to see the title. But if it's outside of any other parishes, outside of Kingston, St. Andrew, and Portmore, I would want each person to survey their little piece. Of course, as I said, I would love to see the title. And you can get a copy of it. Oh, it's in Westwell, and the client is telling me, wonderful. I just need to see a copy of the title. And you can just take the tax paper to any title's office. One is in Montego Bay, one is in Kingston, one is in Mandeville, just get a copy of the title. It's a public document, so anybody can get a copy of a title. Because I'd love to see the title. Then, as I said, I would want each person to survey their little piece and let us see if they can get their individual title. Suppose you say you don't want to cut it up, that's fine. You want to get one big title, but I always feel that two titles better than one and three better than two. But that's just how I believe, because you can use yours to do whatever you want. So I'm going to ask each person to survey their little piece after I have seen the title, and let us see if we can do an adverse possession claim for each person. But you need to show me you have been there for some time, more than 12 years. And we have ways of finding that out that I can assist you with. But I'm going to ask you to get a copy of the title or send me a copy of the tax paper for the property, or maybe you have a copy of the title already. So I could look at it and then advise you if I would advise each person to one survey their little piece. And remember, there's no limit to the size of it. You can get title for a piece of land that is as big as the palm of your hand. There's nothing to say. As I always said to the client, if the surveyor will survey it, I will title it. There is no limit to the size to say that piece of land is too small to get a title. No, there's no law about that. Just as though there's no law to say you can't put all of Jamaica on your title. You can put 1 million people on one title. There's no limit to say you must put 1, 2, or 3 persons. The numbers to call 922-411-325, and the text line is 387-3183. Another text message. Blessed, good day. How much it costs for a sales agreement, 1 square of land in St. Mary? It depends on the lawyer. And when you say 1 square of land, I hope the person has a title for the 1 square of land. I hope you don't see Mr. Brown with his 1 acre land and you're buying a square, because the parish council is not going to give you permission to cut off a square. If you're on it for a long time now, you can get a waiver if the title doesn't have no subdivision. But you're not going to get the parish council permission to cut off a square in St. Mary. It's very unlikely. So, and when I know persons can't get a title, I don't entertain an application for subdivision. I don't do things that I wouldn't entertain the sale. If I know I can't succeed, I'm not going to take your matter. So if you see a man with a piece of land selling you a square, you might need to see if he can sell you 2 squares, or ask the parish council if you'll be able, or we call it the municipal corporation these days, but most of us know it as parish council. Before you give the person your money, if you haven't given it already, ask the parish council if they would allow you to get a title for a square, if they would allow the subdivision, because that again is unlikely. And the cost of agreement for sale will depend on how much you are buying for and all of that. So the lawyers will look to see how much you are buying for, what the situation is, before they will tell you. So I don't have a standard thing where I can say it's $10,000 for it. It's going to depend on other factors. Good day, Ms. Brown. Could you please advise me what's the next step after receiving a certificate of compliance and voluntary declaration to apply for splinter titles? Okay, all right. So after you have got the certificate of compliance and you have the declaration from the parish council, then you're at 99.9% there. You just need to get the attorney now to do the application under what we call Section 77 of the Registration of Titles Act, and the attorney will do that application for you. I'm not sure if you have a plan, if you have a survey plan for each lot separate, or you have just one big plan with all the lots. Because if you have one big plan with all the lots, you're going to have to get another declaration from the surveyor, different from the one from the parish council. And you're going to have to deposit the plan in titles office and wait on them to give it what we call a deposited plan number, or DP number. And after you have got that number, then you put in the application to get the splinter titles. You need to talk to your attorney about getting the splinter title, but you're well on your way. And that's wonderful to know. The number is to call 922-411-325, 922-411-325. And the text line is 387-3183. You can send a text message or a WhatsApp message. And I think I'm neglecting the text messages to the WhatsApp, but I will get to them. My sister and I own jointly a piece of land, and I would like to build on it. What are the steps we have at times? The house we build should not be owned by anyone after I die. So who's going to own it then? Somebody has to own it. I mean, we need to realize that some of the things we're saying don't make any sense. All right, so if you should pass on and your sister is a joint tenant with you and you pass on, the sister is going to own the house. If you are tenants in common, when you pass on, your share is going to go to your spouse and children. and they can decide what they are going to do, but somebody will own it. Can a person sue a sitting politician in the lower house if he or she is involved in? You can sue anybody. All right, you can sue anybody. There's no law to say you can't sue John Brown because John Brown is untouchable. You can sue anybody wherever they are, whoever they are. Okay, and this person said they will send me a copy of the title tomorrow. That's the person from Westmoreland, so I can better advise them. Thank you. The number is to call 922-411-325, 922-411-325, and the text line is 387-3183, 387-3183. Okay, and to the text line, remember the text line, okay? The same as the WhatsApp line, 876-387-3183. My friend's brother is the executor, but he doesn't want to probate as he does not want the family home sold. He's holding on to the will. What can the beneficiaries do? The beneficiaries will have to get their attorney to write to him to ask him to deal with the probate. If he's unwilling, they get that court to give him an order and to remove him as executor. The court will go that far. The court can remove him as the executor if he's not fulfilling his responsibility. And I'm not sure what he means that he doesn't want the family home sold. Well, what he should do then, if he's one of the beneficiaries, to buy out the interest of the others. If he doesn't want it sold, but if one beneficiary wants it sold, then the court will give an order for it to be sold in order to allow you as the executor to continue to prolong the process because you want your own way. Which is why I'm saying to persons, choose your executors carefully. You don't just choose somebody to be your executor, just like that, choose them with care. I've been paying taxes for 20 years on my grandfather's property and maintained it. His children don't come and don't pay for anything. They're abroad in their 80s. I am the granddaughter. Could you advise what is your email address? Okay, I will send the email address. But if you can show undisturbed possession for a certain period of time, you could make an application for the title. But it's nice if you discuss it with those abroad, the aunts and uncles. Right? It's good if you could really deal with that. If a married couple is divorced and the wife leaves a matrimonial home and the husband dies, is she entitled to anything? No, she's no longer a wife. She's now a stranger to the gentleman, so she can't claim family home or claim if the man didn't make a will. She can't claim under intestate to say that I am the spouse, because when you are divorced, you are no longer married to the person. Okay, you're no longer married to the person. Another question, is it true that people in rural areas don't have to do building plans? You just build your house? Well, let's look at it this way. Wherever you are in Jamaica, you need a building plan. And the parish councils, the local authorities, the municipal corporations are getting very strict these days. They are going into every nook and cranny and stopping the buildings. Because you really, regardless of it, just that usually they would look away when it comes to rural areas. But no, partly because of what is happening in the environment, secondly because the government needs the revenue. They're asking everybody to come with a building plan. Many of them, they'll automatically approve and allow you to do whatever you want, but they want their funds, they want their revenue, and they also want to try to do some amount of governing. They want to try to, maybe a lot of times the horse has already gone through the gate, but they're trying to see what they can do about some amount of good governance. So, it's not true that you don't need a building plan. Everybody doing something on land should get a building plan. The numbers to call 922-411-325, and remember that my name is Gloria Brown. We have an office in Ocho Rios at the Jamaica National Building, and an attorney is there every day. I will not be there this Thursday, as I promised the teachers at Jericho Primary School in St. Catherine that I'll be giving them a talk. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. But an attorney is there. You can go in every day to see her and to discuss your matter with her. Numbers to call 922-411-325. Is there a law preventing politicians from purchasing government land? I don't think there is a law to prevent them. It's just that it would not look right. It would, on the face of it, you'd have to really show they can purchase, but they have to disclose. They have to give proper disclosure and show that the proper channels have been obeyed. But this is Jamaica land we love. But there is no law that would say a politician because you're a politician, because that would be discriminating against politicians. If you say they can't go government run, but they have a stricter duty of care, stricter than the ordinary person, to show that they did not exert any undue influence in winning that bid to buy the property or didn't get knowledge elsewhere. This is Gloria Brown and this is Land Solutions.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
Today, February 13, we celebrate World Radio Day. Here's another great reason for radio. Radio is uniquely positioned to bring communities together and foster positive dialogue for change. In reporting and informing the general public, radio stations shape public opinion and frame a narrative that can influence domestic and international situations and decision-making processes. Power 106 FM, celebrating 30 years of powerful talk radio, saluting the institution of radio on this World Radio Day. Tune in to Farm Talk every second and third Tuesday of each month at 6:18 a.m. for the feature High Pro Food Independence. High Pro Food Independence will focus on solutions for farmers, such as land, animal husbandry, agronomy, and more. That's High Pro Food Independence every second and third Tuesday from 6:18 to 6:30 a.m. during Farm Talk, only on Power 106 FM. High Pro Food Independence is sponsored by High Pro.
You're listening to Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land. You've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4113-5. 876-922-4113-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number for Land Solutions, 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com. landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged to call ahead before turning up at the law offices of Brown, Findley and Company. The numbers to call: 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Once again, here's attorney at law Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. So remember, please give me a call, 922-411-325. And the text line, 387-3183. 387-3183. Why is the word on my land title different from my car title? Can the car wording be one day be changed to that for land? Was the wording deliberate, Patrick? Well, there are two different documents, and each will have its own law governing. So the Titles Office, they have the Registration of Titles Act, and the persons in relation to your car would have their own law governing. Okay, so it's two different documents, two different set of information. So the wording would never be the same, because the car is describing the car and the land is describing the land. The title is describing the land, how much land, where it is, who are the owners, their addresses, and all of those. So both of them, there's really no need for both of them to coincide. There's no need why they should be, there's no reason why they should be the same. The numbers to call, please remember that you cannot call me on my WhatsApp line. You have to call through to the studio. We have not reached a stage yet where I have a WhatsApp number you can call through. I guess we will have to look into that. So I see the person asked me to take some calls, but the numbers to call if you want to speak to me, 922-4876, 922-411-325. 876-922-411-325. Okay, first I'll ask, I'm living in the US, can I make a will to include properties that I have in Jamaica? Remember I said you should make one will, regardless of where the property is in the world. One will in the property in America, Africa, Australia, and Jamaica. One will. I'm a joint tenant with my aunt who died. How can I remove her name from the title? You need to get your attorney to do the application to notary death, which is what we call it. The attorney has to prepare that document, has to prepare a revenue affidavit. We need to know if you are living there together, because if you're living there, you can get some waivers of death duties. And you say, what should I do if I already built my house without a building plan? What the parish councils, what the local authorities are asking persons to do is that even though the building is up already, get somebody to draw a plan just as the building is now, and they will pass the plan if everything is in order. So it's all is not lost, but it's good if you could get the plan drawn now. If you want to do something and realize you might need that, you can get the plan drawn, and the parish council will still entertain the application. And Dervan, where someone said they're holding on 9224115. Not too
Uh,
sure why the person is not getting through. The number is 922411325. I don't know if Adrian is listening to me. We'll see why the caller is on hold.
uh, Apparently, we're having a different situation here in studio.
Okay, okay.
So it's we're not seeing that. We're not seeing anybody on line
All right, so
four,
that's
or
line 5
any
for
other line for
115.
that matter.
All
No.
right, so I'm going to ask the listener to just hang up and to call again.
Right.
876-922-411-325. Make sure you're calling the right number. 922-411-325. And remember, the text line is 387-3183. How long is a diagram valid for? I have a feedback diagram, please. Mhm. Okay. So a survey diagram, after 7 years, if you have not got a title, if you have got a title, you don't need to update your diagram. But if you have just surveyed the property and the diagram, you have it for some time after 7 years, then you will need to get the diagram updated. Most times you might not need to do a new survey, because if you can show that the boundaries are still the same, and the surveyor can come and find the things that nothing has changed, then the surveyor will just do what we call a surveyor's declaration, and that will update the diagram for another 7 years. Every time you do a declaration, the declaration will last for 7 years. But we are saying you should not have a survey diagram as long as 7 years and don't yet have a title. So as soon as you have got your survey diagram, let's move towards getting a title. And if you are listening to me this afternoon, remember my name is Maura Brown. You're listening to me, and you want a title, just send me a WhatsApp message. 876-387-3183. Just send me a message and just say title. Just send me a message and just say at 387-3183. Just say title. Okay, this person is asking what measures are in place to deal with certain professionals who are corrupt. The law is there. The point where the law is there for anything else. For the man who robs you on the road, the dog, whatever you have, the law is there to deal with everybody. There's no special law for me and special law. There's no special law for me than another one for the person. Just one set of laws. One set of laws, and then it's the enforcement that is our challenge. The enforcement. The number to call 922-411-325. And remember, I have two questions now about executors. Who are these people we call executors? That big word that we look at it is hard to, people call it executors or different kind of things, but it's executors, Executors. As a name, we call it executors, Who are these persons? The executor is the person you would need if you're willing to say that when I pass, this is the person in charge. So when you write your will to the last will and testament of me, John Black, I revoke all wills made by me and declare this to be my last will and testament say the last, so that means you can make one every day. Or if all of them you make it with the last one, the one with the last is that will go. So after you put that in, you say appoint John Smith and Mary Smith as my executors. And you put their addresses and their occupation. And those persons are the persons after you pass. It's their responsibility to take the will to an attorney along with your death certificate and documentation in relation to your assets. So the title for the land, the insurance, paper, the bank account information. They will take this now to the attorney, to an attorney for the attorney to make an application for a grant of probate. Probate, the application for the grant of probate is a document that the attorney will prepare. The grant of probate is a document the attorney will prepare and send to the court. And when the judge signs that paper or the registrar, then it is time to share. It is time to start sharing the assets that the person died with.
Aye.
When the executor gets this document, we call a
Yes, I
grant
did.
of probate. The executor steps into the shoes of the dead person. Anything
Sure.
the dead person could do, the executor is now able to do. The dead person could sell, executor can sell. The dead person could transfer, executor can transfer. So when you are the executor, you have got probate, you have got an order from the court, we call a probate, giving you the executor permission to share the estate, then it's your time to start the sharing. Your time to start deciding. So, because the executor has so much power, we're asking our listeners to be careful in choosing your executors. Choose your executors with care. You do not want any and everybody to be in charge of what you have died leaving. You want somebody who is honest and reliable. Numbers to call 922-411-325, 922-411-325. And the text line is 387-3183. That's the text line on the WhatsApp line. The numbers to call again, 922-411-325, and that's the text line. Okay, 922-411-325, and this person is saying that something seems to be wrong because nobody's answering them, so maybe there's a little bit of a disconnect. But I'm sending your message to Adrian, and hopefully he will be able to. You sent your phone number as well. I guess you probably would like to speak on air. The numbers to call again, 922-411-325. And I see the request from the persons for titles. Remember, if you want to get a title for your land, just send me a message. All you have to do is send the message to 387-3183. 387-3183. Just send the message to us to me at that number, and I will just send you the document, the information for what I would want to be able to get you a title. And remember, to get a title, the first thing you need to do is to survey the property. When you tell me that you have a survey diagram for your land, then I know I'm well on my way towards getting the title for you. Because when you come into my office with a survey diagram, most of the other information I can solicit from you. I can get it from you right away, and then I can start your application. But I beg persons, survey the land now before the evil days come. Survey it before you go to get it surveyed and somebody stops the survey. And remember, somebody comes on the land to survey your land, or they're not giving you the amount, they're encroaching on your land, or you're not satisfied. You can just tell the surveyor that you're objecting to the survey, and that will cause the surveyor to stop. I know years ago they used to say you must just touch the tape. I don't know, the surveyors would have to tell me if that's the legal route. But I've found that you can tell the surveyor that you are objecting to the survey, and they will give you a documentation outlining your objection. But the surveyor should stop when a person objects. And I'm encouraging persons, which is why I'm saying get your title from now, so that persons will not see that they can move your peg. Because if they move your peg after you have your title, then it's already established in the title office exactly where your peg should be. So if persons want to move it and put it elsewhere, a surveyor can just come in and immediately will just look at the instrument, look at the field notes on your title, and know that the peg, they put the peg beside the mango tree, but the peg is supposed to be beside the soursop tree. Those are things that persons need to know, and we're begging persons to stop moving pegs. Okay, and we need to start dealing with the land differently. We need to be less aggressive about the land. Too much of a fighting spirit, too much of a aggression when it comes to land ownership. And I always remember what the Bible says: we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we shall, and you can end it for you. You can end it for me. But I'm asking person, let us be less aggressive. And a lot of times, person, especially older generation, the aggression is because you have not been good stewards. You have left the property in a way that cause your beneficiaries to be angry. I beg of person, let us deal with the land the right way that we should. This is Land Solutions. We're off on a break. I'm Gloria Brown.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
Poor roads a major concern? What about those drains that are in need of repair or cleaning? Who's responsible for repairing my road and when will it be done? Join us this and every Tuesday morning at 8 during Morning Agenda as we travel on our roads with the National Works Agency and get answers to these and other concerns. You're welcome to visit their website at www.nwa.gov.jm. See the tender notices link for projects to be undertaken. You may also call them toll-free at 1-888-429-5NWA. That's 1-888-429-5692, or follow them on Twitter at NWA_JA and Facebook at www.facebook.com/NWA Jamaica. The National Works Agency, developing safe, reliable, and quality roads.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. You're listening to the feature Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. The numbers to call, 876-922-4113-5, 876-922-4113-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number for Land Solutions, 876-387-3183, 876-387-3183. The numbers to call the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. And in fact, the website address is landsolutionsja.com, landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja, facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com, gloria@landsolutionsja.com. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. And the offices are open the usual hours at the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company. But on a Thursday, they usually have a senior attorney assisting clients and potential clients on a Thursday between 10 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. Once again, here's attorney at law Gloria Brown, and we have a caller for you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Brown. How are you?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Let me get into it. On a title, there are 4 persons that joined, have joined. I'm going to give you some name, but it's not the actual name of the title. Just an example.
Sorry, Miss Brown. Does the caller have a radio in the background or some other device?
Can I speak?
If you
encourage persons. And remember, the tenancy is written on the title. As long as you are not the only person on the title, there must be a tenancy written on it. And remember, the title is a public document. You can just go down to any title office and get a copy. If you know the title number, you pay $500. If you don't know the title number, you pay $1,000. But you can get anybody's title. There's no restriction.
Here's a message for you, Miss Brown.
Yes, Dervan.
This person called Prince says, "Hello, Miss Gloria. Is a squ- does a squatter have any rights on farmlands?"
Well, there's no distinction between the land, whether it's farmland or it's residential or commercial. That's what we still have rights after 12 years. The challenge is that sometimes to get the title from the squatter, you might have something on the farmland to the Ministry of Agriculture to give permission for the land to be cut over. They might not allow you to cut over anything that you are trying to claim the adverse possession against. But there's no restriction to say the land is farmland. The only thing you only restriction you have is private land and government land. For private land, the adverse claim is 12 years, for the government land is 60 years, 60. So you have to cut on the government land for 60 years before you can claim adverse possession. And remember, you don't have to be there for 60. Your grandmother could be there for 40, your mother for 50, and you could for 5. You can tag on, you can add up years for adverse. Yes, for the private land, you could be there for 60 years, your mother for 6 years, and you could add up the 2 years to make 12. So that says the person protect their land. Answer that one, Dervan.
You're welcome.
Also, my saying to my listeners today, I'm saying if you need a title and that where some person sends me information to say, "Type, if you need a title, just send me a text message and I will immediately send you." All you have to say in the text message is title. And the text line is 387-3183. 387-3183. And I want to commend all the many persons around Jamaica who have listened to Felicia and to me on this program. And I've really learned a lot. I want to commend all the village lawyers out there. It might seem it's a bad thing, but I don't. I like when people have knowledge because knowledge is power. As the power one says, knowledge is power. When you know it, then because the worst thing, is to know not and know not to know not. Because you have a lot of person speaking with confidence because they feel that they know. But when you know not and know not, and know not that you know not, they go to describe that person. So I want person to have a knowledge. When you see somebody doing something, you can say, no, 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 that's not a good idea. Don't do it like that. Don't buy the land like that. See, and I've seen where persons, not just in Jamaica, but all over the world, Switzerland is everywhere. Switzerland in different parts, other parts of Europe, in the Americas, persons in the Caribbean, persons have listened to this station and have learned a lot. Persons are now wise, persons know how to protect their land. And one thing I want to warn my listeners before I leave this afternoon, do not sign away your rights. You're living on a property and somebody come and say, hey, we're going to start this, then you run and sign a lease. Sometimes you have been there long enough for it is now yours. And sometimes the person who has come for you to sign this document are not the person who has come to sign this document are not the owners, but they come to trick you. They come to trick you. So be careful what you sign. Do not just run and sign documents and save up my listeners. Do not sign. Anybody come for you to sign something, they may take it to for a lawyer to look at, and if they know they don't want you to take it to a lawyer, they also get suspicious. So what recommend that you have to your phone and my phone number is 908-1950 or 908-3588. Or you can send me a text message or a WhatsApp message at 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. You want a title? Or can I beg it first? It's easier for you to send me the message on the WhatsApp if you want the title because the police send you the information. I guess everybody doesn't have WhatsApp, but you will send the message to WhatsApp. The police will just forward on that WhatsApp. And I still different the other messages, but I'm free out of time. And I promise I deal with them when next time I come on, I'll give your phone after the program. But say thanks to Dervan, thanks to Israel, and thanks to the whole family, and thanks to you, my listeners. Have a wonderful day.
1225 or by sending a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Brought to you by Benson Pharmacy and Wellington Dental. That's powering your health. Powerful health and wellness discussion and interaction this and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM. Love has found its way in our hearts today, yeah.
Thanks for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Just before we introduce to you our guest in this segment, a couple of messages to clear. This one, quite extraordinary. If I send you my address, can you order me a Domino's pizza? Really? Someone is pulling a fast one here. Let's move on. Asha Ash says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Just tuning in from London, England. Welcome, Asha Ash in London, England. Low Confidence Frog, that's the moniker, Moniker, that is used by this listener. Tuning in from Dallas, Texas. Good afternoon. Welcome from Dallas, Texas, Low Confidence Frog. Howard Foster says, a new Jamaica. UIC Jamaica is the third largest political movement in Jamaica. Please join, share, and support UIC Jamaica. Marcia King says, I'm also listening from London, England. Good evening. Welcome, Marcia King. Good to have you on board. Thank you for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida. Good afternoon to you. Dr. Karen Dunkley, the outgoing Global Jamaica Diaspora Representative for the Northeast USA. Good afternoon to you. Joan Edgehill in Central Florida has joined us. B. Jew is in New York. She says, good afternoon, Dervan. I hope all is well. Hope all is well with you too. All is well. Thank you very much. Hope all is well with you and Mr. B and Jorvilia and the rest of the family. Bishop David Cleary, good afternoon to you. Velta Wilson in St. Thomas says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners on this marvelous Monday. Good afternoon to you, Velta Wilson. Maureen Gordon Hunt, hello to you. Faye Weller, we did meet Faye Weller on Friday in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. It was a pleasure. Faye Weller, good afternoon to you. And we convey your greetings to the listeners as well. Freddie McClymont, good afternoon. Grace Shim, hello. Sultan Ali, Bruce Buster's son, good afternoon to you. Pastor Evangelist Sandra Fraser says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and Jamaicans around the world. And hello to Dawn Everbless Morris. Paul Campbell is online as well. Sandra Green is watching. Jeannie Chambers is on. Desireen Koff is also tuned in. And keep those messages coming in. Joan Edgehill says, good afternoon to you and your listening. I think you mean listeners. Right. Thank you very much. And this segment now, we're delighted, but at the same time, a little concerned. A combination of looking at the data. Happy for the interview to be able to spread the good news. So that's the happy part, but not too happy about how we're treating our bodies. And we're all guilty and or have been guilty at some point or another in our lives. And so if you've been following the news, you would know that the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, the HFJ, launched phase 1 of its school nutrition policy campaign on last Thursday, the 9th of February. And the idea or the aim of this campaign is to increase public support and encourage policymakers to implement a comprehensive nu- healthy school nutrition policy for the well-being of our children in order to reduce the epidemic. We have an epidemic of overweight or obese Jamaicans. So the aim of this campaign is to reduce the epidemic of overweight, obesity, and non-communicable diseases. And we are going to set the stage for you because we have some data here that are quite stunning. 23.3% of Jamaican students aged 13 to 17 years are overweight and or obese. Did you hear that? 23.3% of Jamaican students aged 13 to 17 years are overweight and or obese. More than 66% of Jamaican adolescents aged 15 to 19 years consume fast food most days of the week. I'll repeat, more than 66% of Jamaican adolescents aged 15 to 19 years consume fast food most days of the week. 80% of all deaths in Jamaica are caused by non-communicable diseases, NCDs. 80% of all deaths in Jamaica are caused by non-communicable disease. In fact, in what that means, the term non-communicable disease, it can spread from you to another person. So for example, if I have diabetes and you cough or sneeze in my presence, you're not going to catch diabetes. So it's non-communicable diseases. And that's an example: diabetes, hypertension, stroke, cardiovascular diseases, etc., etc. I'm no expert on that. I just thought I'd explain non-communicable diseases. But let's go on. 92% of Jamaicans support front of package labels on food and drinks as part of the government's plan to promote a healthier diet in Jamaica. 92% of Jamaicans support front of package labels. In other words, that the information on the contents of that package, the information is front and center. So as you are looking to purchase it, you're seeing all the facts in relation to the product. Front of package. Front of package. Usually, as it is now, the custom is to put it at the back or somewhere else, but not front of package. 92% of Jamaicans support front of package labels on food and drinks as part of the government's plan to promote a healthier diet in Jamaica. And we could go on, but we're going to pause here because we're not the expert. We have an expert nutritionist and research assistant at the Caribbean Institute for Health Research, Mrs. Annalie Gray Brown. Good afternoon to you. Thank you for your patience as you waited to get on the line. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. How are you? It's a pleasure to have you join us here on the program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Please help us if we haven't been comprehensive in setting the stage. If there are other elements you'd like to get in at this point before we look at the campaign, and the key messages, etc. What we're trying to do at the start there is just to lay the foundation, to roll the pitch, as they say in cricketing terms. So if you want to add or take away from that, please feel free before we go on. Oh, you're very kind. Sorry that the telecom's not not working with us. Let's go again. Let's hear. Go ahead. All right, let's work with that for the time being. Sure. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you, but I really want to get a healthy sound coming through from the connection. Let's see. Maybe we could hang up, call back, see if we get a clearer line. That's what the experts have told us. Long time ago, they told us that there are thousands of lines or connections or whatever. And sometimes all we need to do is just to hang up and call back. And chances are we'll get a better line. Because we really want our listeners at home and abroad to hear exactly what is happening when it comes on to eating healthy. So the other areas as we get ready to reconnect, substantial evidence demonstrates that consuming excess sugar from both beverages and foods increases the risk of developing diabetes, liver and kidney damage, heart disease, and some cancers. I'll repeat. Substantial evidence demonstrates that consuming excess sugar from both beverages and foods increases the risk of developing diabetes, liver and kidney damage, heart disease, and some cancers. And there's the reminder about excess sodium as well. I Let's try to reconnect once again with Mrs. Annalie Gray Brown, nutritionist and research assistant with the Caribbean Institute for Health Research. Thank you very much for your patience with us and with the connection. Let's see if we're a little better now. You could go ahead and add what you would like to the information that we already shared from the document you supplied to us. Much better. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. It seems to me, sorry, go ahead. It got you on the key message. It seems to me though that if only we would continue for a longer period of time in feeding our babies, our infants, the with nutritious meals that should follow them into early childhood and beyond, shouldn't it? If they become accustomed to eating fruits and vegetables that are good for them, then it becomes a part of it, becomes natural. So mommy or daddy don't have to worry, or whoever is the guardian. Just a thought. What do you think? Mhm. All right, hold on. I'm happy you went there. Sorry, I'm not cutting you. I'm just zoning in and supporting what you're saying, because there's a school of thought that says eat fruits. And anybody who has ever heard me talk about on this program, I tell you, I like to eat ripe banana, I like pineapple, and I like orange. Those are my three favorites. But then someone said to me some time ago, but that's you're eating too much of those things. I'm saying, but if you're telling me that eating fruits is good for me, then what am I doing wrong there? Mhm. The portions. All right, I'll allow you to come back right after this break, please. 346 on Power 106. Thanks for staying with us here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Our guest is Mrs. Annalie Gray Brown. She's a nutritionist and research assistant at the Caribbean Institute for Health Research, and she has shared some data with us. And we're just taking it apart in a manner of speaking, just or putting it a better way, we're unpacking. We're unpacking and developing on some of these points. And going to the break, I was asking about this business of you say we're to eat fruits, but then we're eating fruits, and you say, well, we're having too much. So, how do we know if we're having too much or too little? Hold on, say that again. You don't want to be? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's better to eat fruit than drink fruit juice. Mm-hmm. 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 I see. All right, let's get to the campaign now. This campaign. Give us an overview of this campaign with respect to eating healthy for our children in schools. Well, step back a bit there because the launch, you had the launch last week, Thursday, correct? Right. What is the buy-in like? I mean, how ready are our schools, especially considering that we now have fast food outlets on our school campuses and university campuses? Okay. Got you. Mhm. Who is taking the lead? Is it the health minister who's taking the lead on this, or are there partners? Give us an idea of what the team looks like. What are some of the things we can do starting right now? We don't not waiting until next tomorrow morning or next week or next month or next 6 months. What are some of the things we can do right now in support of this campaign? All right, I see somebody suggesting that you're giving us a guesstimation as to how much fruit one should eat. The person says I eat as much as 5 ripe bananas in the mornings. All right. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. All right. So now, in terms of the how, what is the modus operandi? Is it that we're going to be seeing more of a presence, not just on social media, naturally on mainstream media plus pop-ups here and there? What's the what should we be looking out for? Mhm. So, speaking of everybody, does this campaign take into account the manufacturers, the producers? Yes? Hmm. Hmm. One moment, please. A few more questions for you if you have the time. Please bear with us. Mrs. Annalie Gray Brown is a nutritionist and research assistant at the Caribbean Institute for Health Research, and she has been speaking with us about the latest campaign to get out certain foods out of the school system and bring in the healthier stuff. One moment, please. ¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:01. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:01. 现在10:01分. A minute past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Our guest is Mrs. Annalie Gray Brown. She's a nutritionist and research assistant at the Caribbean Institute for Health Research, and she has been sharing with us the details of the recently launched school nutrition policy campaign. It was launched last week, Thursday, and the aim of the campaign is to increase public support and encourage policymakers to implement a comprehensive, healthy school nutrition policy for the well-being of our children in order to reduce the epidemic of overweight, obesity, and other lifestyle diseases. So that is the plan. That's the mission. And do you know, Mrs. Gray Brown, of instances where schools are already on board? What about those who say, "What's the big deal?" I mean, when we consume food, the body naturally breaks it all down, and it all becomes sugar. What do you say to that?
To manage is weakened. And the challenge is when this happens in childhood, it's very difficult to correct it in adulthood. And so what we want to do is to create an environment where the children are able to eat healthy, understand the principles behind it, and then get to the stage where they can be a productive member of society and hopefully not have a chronic disease. But when a child from 11, 12, or even a young adult gets this condition, not only are they paying from their pocket, but because medications are so expensive, it has to be subsidized through insurance, through the government, and I'm not quite sure that our budget can manage what may happen if a larger proportion of us has these conditions. I guess we'd have to have more taxes. And that's a whole separate discussion that we don't want to have. Mm-hmm. But it's a reality that is facing us at this time already. You know, so it's real. It's a big deal. Yeah. It impacts our health and the bottom dollar.
And advice for the listeners, the parents and guardians tuned in and saying, "Well, only this alone me can't afford, me can't afford the healthy stuff. You know, this is what I can afford." What do you say to those?
I would want to say, listen, when you were growing up,
perhaps you weren't so rich, but maybe you were still able to be okay. Maybe you were healthy. Maybe you were drinking water and eating fruit. Maybe you were just having butter and cheese. Maybe you can afford to just plant callaloo and cook it up with a bit of saltfish. What I'm saying is it does not have to be expensive if we focus, for example, on eating more peas and beans. If it can even only
Eating
afford
more
to
what?
say
Say
that
that again. Eating
more
more
more peas and beans.
peas and beans.
Yes,
Okay.
they stretch much more
Hmm.
than meat does. And let's say you can't afford expensive cuts of meat. It's fine. Mix it in with peas and beans. Mix it in with stuff like pak choy and callaloo, even pumpkin leaves, dasheen leaves. Those can be eaten. We may not know, but they can be, and they're very nutritious. They're rich in vitamins and minerals. So if you're thinking, man, listen, I can really afford really bread and butter, can you maybe add some callaloo with the butter? Or if you're thinking more, I can really only afford sausage. Can you maybe stretch the sausage with some beans? So there are ways to use the same money but spend it differently. Something like a boiled egg is much more nutritious, for example, than a frankfurter.
Yes.
And so even if we are not able to afford the high end option, we don't need to go for the high end option. Think about what is as close as possible as what is in nature.
Yes.
So closer to the natural thing, and think about it in terms of the trade-off. So can you afford a banana compared to banana chips? Maybe you can because the cost is actually similar. So think in terms of the most minute amount as opposed to thinking about the fantastic quinoa and lentils. Just focus on the red peas, focus on the eggs, focus on the callaloo. Just keep it simple.
And another key thing has to be portions, because in Jamaica, I don't want to broad brush all of us, but
Yes.
for the most part, we don't feel we're eating unless we see a mountain in front of us. There's
So that's a cultural
how
thing.
do we guard against overeating?
Okay. So to be very honest, it really depends on what somebody is accustomed to. So if I'm accustomed to eating, like a custom box of rice, that's basically taking it to a coffin possibly. But I may not be aware that is too much. So again, I'd really encourage persons to try to speak with a health professional. In the absence of that, you're giving general information. I could say if you're a very physically active man, try not to have more than maybe 4 or 5 pieces of food at one meal. Maybe not more than a cup and a half to 2 cups of rice. If you're a child or a woman, aim for maybe 2/3 of that. Maybe like 3 pieces of food, maybe a cup and a half of rice. It's very difficult to give a specific guidance that's going to work for everybody. But the truth is, if you're able to speak with a health professional, then that really does help.
How big a deal is exercise in the whole scheme of things?
So what I would say is nutrition works hand in hand with rest and exercise. When it comes to weight management, the biggest impact is really through how we eat, through our nutrition. But in terms of maintaining good cardiovascular health, in terms of helping to manage stress, in terms of us even helping the muscles and the bones to grow for a child, the physical activity is a big part of it. So if we can help our kids to playing naturally up to an hour or more per day, great. If we're adults and we're trying to keep physically fit, okay, so maybe 30 minutes per day, the song. If you're trying to lose weight though, aiming for an hour is good. But if you're very, very busy, you can't reach the hour. Try to have maybe like a 10-minute walk at lunchtime. See if you can maybe incorporate 20 or 30 minutes while you're watching the news in the evening. And over time, it adds up. The biggest thing is to start and to make it doable. If it's too difficult for you, then it will never happen because there are so many other things competing for our energy and time.
And what about those who say, look, is there any value in snacking throughout the day as opposed to just eating one big healthy meal like a healthy breakfast or a healthy lunch? Uh,
Well, okay, so the truth is that if you're having 3 square meals a day, you are fine. But what if you are a child or somebody who's very physically active? You may get hungry in between meals. So a snack does not have to equal high salt, high sugar in a bag. A snack could be a fruit. A snack could be bread and cheese. A snack could be tuna and crackers. A snack could be, believe it or not, a family meal like a cup of soup. So snack is really supposed to be in between your main meal, provide some nutrition. It does not mean that it has to be a packet snack. But if I was to give an example of a packet snack that could be somewhat okay, maybe banana chips. I'm not promoting any particular brand. I'm just saying that is better than say something that is very, very high in sugar or sodium. Or maybe a plain tea biscuit, for example. You really want to avoid snacks where there's lots of cream added. Even the colors betraying to you that it has additives added. And you can taste the sodium in some of these that is very, very high. So in general, we want to aim for the plain, minimally salted snacks. If the child is at an age where they can appreciate nuts and not choke, then they can have those as well. Certainly fruits and something as simple as banana cheese. I'm not saying banana cheese is the healthiest thing, but again, it's better than say a donut, you know. So there are opportunities for snacks to be packaged. We're just saying preferably snacks that don't have a lot of sugar added or a lot of high sodium snacks or high fat.
We have so many questions. So we could talk with you all afternoon, but we don't want to monopolize your time, Mrs. Gray Brown.
Okay, thank you.
You've been very gracious, and you've shared with us a lot. So now, in terms of seeing the press for details, so to speak, in terms of how do we follow, just remind us how we can follow the work of the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, especially as it relates to the school nutrition policy campaign, which was lost, I beg your pardon, which was launched last week, Thursday. So just remind us where we need to check just to follow up, because I'm sure you constant well, Heart Foundation of Jamaica constantly puts out information, useful information when it comes on to these matters.
Yes, certainly. Well, if you're on Instagram, it's Heart Foundation JA. If you are on Twitter, it's at Heart Jamaica. And if it's Facebook, the Heart Foundation Jamaica. You know, visit our website as well. And listen, if people want to get checked, you know, because I mean, the theme for Heart Month is really about, you know, like knowing what the numbers are, you know, doing your part. So if you want to check your blood pressure, your blood sugar, you know, the office is right there on Beachwood Avenue. The costs are quite competitive. So that opportunity is always there. Or, of course, it is a healthcare provider if they're not close to this area.
Yes, indeed, and of course we should always make sure we stay close in relative terms, close to our healthcare provider or
Yes.
family doctor, whoever is normally the one we go to get help.
Yes, because they understand the full picture and can monitor you over time, certainly.
Sounds good. Well, we thank you very much. I'm not going to get you into trouble by asking you what you had for lunch today or what you're going to be having for dinner.
Yes, I mean, what I would say is my lunch had vegetables, not enough.
Yes.
It had chicken
Yes.
and it had rice and peas. So
Uh-huh.
I'm being transparent. I'm working at it, but it should
Yes.
have had more vegetables in it.
All right. That's very very magnanimous of you to share in the way you have. Thank you so
Yes.
much. It's been a pleasure.
All right, thanks to all the best to you and your listeners.
Thank you very much on their behalf. Mrs. Annalie Gray Brown, nutritionist and research assistant at the Caribbean Institute for Health Research.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
when your love is beautiful. There's nothing that can go wrong. When two hearts beat together, it's like an everlasting song. It's like an everlasting song. The moon shines bright over yonder, yeah, and it makes me feel so fine. I'm so thankful, baby, that Jah has made you mine. I'm so
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:16 Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4h16.现在几点了？4点16分. 16 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Lots of messages coming in on WhatsApp. This one says, Dervan, good day. You're a nutritionist. Oh, I read that one already and she responded. Is there a danger to eat 1 kilograms of seedless black grapes? I don't know if our nutritionist is still listening, but in this day and age, you should be able to Google that as well, or speak with someone at the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, like a nutritionist. And this one says, Dervan, most vegetarians I know look so suffering and weak. Why? I don't know that you can necessarily, by looking at people and because they're vegetarians, you're making the connection that that's why they look to be suffering or weak. Uh, it could be they could be very healthy, notwithstanding their appearance. Could be just a matter of genetics or genes, I should say. And the same messenger says the government. Let's see, the government used to supply Nutribullers with milk to school and now talking about high sugar level in children. What is going on? What is going on the face of it is that we are still evolving. We're evolving. We're learning new things about our bodies, just in case you think we know everything already about the body. Maybe most things you can argue, but we learn new things every single day, and conditions that cause certain ailments, etc. So we're evolving, and there are things we used to do that back then seemed okay. We have done more research, as in the scientists, the medical doctors from all different stripes. More research. They're constantly researching, studying, examining, and just trying to get a better understanding of why the body works the way it does, and why some foods have the kind of impact that they do on the body as opposed to others, etc., etc. We're still evolving. That would be my answer. Still evolving. Thank you very much nonetheless. This one says, good day, Mr. Malcolm. I would like to send belated birthday to Mrs. Natalia Carr Johnson. Her birthday was the 12th of February, and a belated anniversary to her and her husband, Mr. Fabian Johnson Rayon from Woodburn District, St. Thomas, celebrated their anniversary on the 12th of February. Greetings coming from Maria Hayden. Good afternoon to you, Maria Hayden, and all the very best. Thank you very much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. More WhatsApp messages. This one from Curtis. I believe Curtis is in Claremont, St. Anne. He says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm and everyone. Sir Malcolm, it's still the same with Power 106. As you came off, and the news about to start, it stopped working, and it is this way now for a while. I would like to know what's the problem. Well, we're going to forward your message to the engineers via their WhatsApp group. So let's bring up the transmission group WhatsApp. There we go. So we have sent your message, and in fact, we are now, Curtis, going to send your contact information as well, so that if the engineers wish to speak with you about what you're hearing or not hearing, they will have the capacity so to do. Rachel G has been listening as well. She says, "Hi, Dervan. Fantastic. Please tell Mrs. Gray Brown this is the way to go. I really need to speak with her. I prayed that a brave person would come forward with this topic. I am someone who brought up children the healthy way, have worked with school and church community, and we're blessed to give some advice on healthy food and its benefits. Jamaican people need this knowledge and motivation to encourage, especially the young, from age 4 to adulthood." Well, I wouldn't even start at age 4. I would say from that child, from it becomes known, from the time it becomes known that there is a fetus. It means adjustments in what mommy to be or expectant mommy will need to pay attention to what she's eating, and daddy has a role to our other family members to not stress mommy, because that has implications for the child as well, etc. Right. Thank you very much for your message, Rachel G. And Cuban in Georgia has a lot to say as usual. Good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. What is the purpose of the opposition to side with the government and Privy Council against black people in Jamaica? I'm sure you know the answer to that question, Cuban in Georgia. We have all sorts of complaints and concerns and a silent opposition. The opposition have been complicit in speaking on behalf of the citizens of Jamaica, and I'm very disappointed in them, says Cuban in Georgia, who is what's this? Housing, land, roads, and small business, and also agriculture, tourism, and foreign affairs. I want to see an attacking opposition taking the fight to the citizens of Jamaica. I beg your pardon, taking the fight of the citizens of Jamaica to the government. Well, as long as it's not one of those fights where everybody comes out with cuts and bruises. And it doesn't have to be a fight. It doesn't need to be. We just need to reason with each other. Just reason. Reason with each other. And let's see. Let's what time is it? Oh, we have another interview coming up. Let's see. Let's make sure that we are on target in the next 5 minutes. So our next guest will join us in the next 5 minutes or so. Stand by. And let's go now to this message or this call from Florida. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. We say you have an interview come up in 5 minutes.
Yes.
So, because my list so long, I cut it short and come back tomorrow.
Go ahead, we're listening.
I think someone say down the country, when you get off and the news come up, they don't hear you. So why your boss don't make you read the news?
My boss? Who's that?
I don't know with the boss, but I
Okay.
guess you have a boss, right?
I have colleagues, I have team members, and managers, etc. Hmm. Anyway, go ahead.
For the nutritionists, what they're running from, the death or the sickness, which one of them?
Why do you say that?
Well, according to Muta Baruka, if for the death them are running from, them a waste time, but for the sickness him can understand. I've seen people eat where themselves eat, and they end up with some serious sickness and some.
No, but you're speaking now in general terms. If you're going to go there, give us chapter and verse. Give us down to the minutest of details. Hmm?
You know?
Yes?
I know people personally what happened to.
Yeah, but how much information do you have? Is that speculative in data as to, or information as to what happened to this person and whether one thing following another resulted in their condition, etc.?
Well, I don't know if that is after him develop the sickness and then put him on certain thing.
Well,
then thing get to turn for the
I
work,
could
but-
stop you at I don't know and say, I rest my case.
Okay, all right. Quick, one last one, quick, our time is going.
Yes.
I hear the top man in Jamaica say people is saying that the traffic fine is to run the budget, but him saying they were interested in the money is to discipline people on the road.
Why is that even a topic in Jamaica, though? Why is that even a topic? I'm just wondering loud. Sorry, go ahead.
No, what he sorry, I think what I'm saying is in the wrong term there. Because if he, well, according to what him say, I'm not interested in the money. Because listen carefully, you know. He's to discipline people on the road.
Who is him?
So why when hello?
Who is him?
The Prime Minister.
Oh,
he was the one talking.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not interested in the money, then why don't put measures in place that if they slap you with one charge 2 times and suspend a license and driving a suspended license you go to jail? That's more easier.
Well, you perhaps might want to make a submission to a parliamentary committee on that subject. Well, or write a letter to the editor. Write a letter to the editor. Or call us as you have done to express yourself on this subject.
All right, I know what time is again, so I'll take you upon it tomorrow.
All right, no problem. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. We have an obligation to our next guest, so bear with us. We'll take a few more calls before we wrap this afternoon. We have to go to our guest in just a moment. In the meantime, thank you very much to Rohan Johnson from Atlas Ocho Rios. He says, we all live to give thanks, Sir Malcolm. We all live to see another Monday. Big up to each and everyone who clock into the program at this time. Coming from Rohan Johnson, Atlas Ocho Rios. Clock in, says Rohan Johnson. Thank you very much. All the best.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call this and every Wednesday evening at 8 with Powering Your Health. Powering Your Health is Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to health and wellness. Your one-stop place to power a healthy lifestyle. How can we help you to power your health? You can reach the show anytime by calling 876-922-4112 or by sending a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Brought to you by Benson Pharmacy and Wellington Dental. That's Powering Your Health. Powerful health and wellness discussion and interaction. This and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Only on Power 106 FM.
There's a retirement crisis in Jamaica, with only approximately 10% of the working population saving towards retirement. Many people do not participate in a formal pension plan, such as contract workers and the self-employed, and some are not eligible for a government pension. Every member of the workforce has the opportunity to participate in a pension plan and secure a monthly income for their retirement. Join Real Business every Monday at 9:30 a.m. for an informative discussion with Peter Rose Hall, Managing Director of BPM Financial. Discuss discussing the importance of retirement planning and the solutions to move Jamaica out of this crisis. Retirement Wealth Creation is brought to you by BPM Financial Limited, taking you higher.
Poor roads a major concern? What about those drains that are in need of repair or cleaning? Who's responsible for repairing my road and when will it be done? Join us this and every Tuesday morning at 8 during Morning Agenda as we travel on our roads with the National Works Agency and get answers to these and other concerns. You're welcome to visit their website at www.nwa.gov.jm. See the tender notices link for projects to be undertaken. You may also call them toll-free at 1-888-429-5NWA. That's 1-888-429-5692, or follow them on Twitter at NWA_JA and Facebook at www.facebook.com/NWA Jamaica. The National Works Agency, developing safe, reliable, and quality roads. This way, in our hearts when your love is beautiful, there's nothing that can go wrong. When two hearts beat together, it's like an everlasting song. It's like an everlasting song. The moon shines bright over yonder, yeah, and it makes me feel so fine. I'm so thankful.
Did you get her before? Okay.
That Jah has made you mine. I'm so thankful that Jah has made you mine.
De hora es en espagnol. Son las 5:27. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:27. 现在地点了5:27 27 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We're having a difficulty connecting with our guest for this segment. She's Ordia Ricketts. Ordia Ricketts, representing Grand A View, which is a hotel in the friendly city, Montego Bay. And the subject is what they plan to do tomorrow, the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. And it's quite a package. It's $14,000 per couple, $8,000 single, and reservations required. Sales at hotelgrandaview.com. Sales at hotelgrandaview.com. Number to call 876-952-1460, 876-952-1460. And they're at 3 Ramparts Close in Montego Bay, the friendly city. And let's see what else they have in store. So it's their Valentine's menu at Grand A View Hotel in Montego Bay. A choice of 1 item per course. A complimentary glass of red or white wine will be served with the meal. The appetizer, honey garlic shrimp, cream of potato soup, seasonal tossed salad. The main course, pan-seared snapper fillet, chicken cordon bleu, white wine pork medallions, chickpea pasta, the sides or side orders, market vegetables, and whipped potatoes. The dessert, molten lava chocolate cake and strawberry cheesecake. Now, if those elements, you see, after speaking with a nutritionist this afternoon, I have to be very careful, uh, even more careful. But this is what is on offer. And portions are important. You don't want to, as we say in Jamaica, you don't want to overdo it. Whatever you do, don't overdo it. You get the picture. Right. All right. Sorry we haven't had the pleasure of the company of Ordia Ricketts of Grand A View Hotel in this segment. And so we'll just go back to our callers and our messengers. You get the point. Let's clear some of these. This one says, Mr. Malcolm, the government and opposition are doing their own thing, not the people's business. And Neville, otherwise known as Salah, says, Dervan, the nutrition bun that the children used to be getting in school was a good thing. No, and you know I can't read. Look, Salah, if you want me to read your message, you have to be mindful that this is radio, free to air radio. So anybody can listen and hear what is happening. So you can't just put down any expression that you like putting down and expect me to read it when it is not proper. And I don't mean in terms of English. It's just not proper. Right? In some cases, it borders on being out of order. Now, you don't have to like people, I tell people all the time, we don't have to go to the same church. We don't have to share the same views. But there's a thing called respect, RESPECT. And some of us take pleasure in disrespecting people. There are some people who hold offices. They're not going to be around forever. You don't have to like them, but the least you can do is give due regard to the office. The office, because a time will come when somebody you like will be in that office. And I'm sure you would like that person you like to be accorded the same level of respect. Nothing is wrong with debating people, arguing, and all of that. But there has to be a level of respect. It's very important. Very important. Let's go on. Where's the rest of this message? If what they're saying, that the bun was too sweet, is it time that they turn their hands and make fashion? The JLP need to bring back the children nutrition bun from Salah in Kingston. Thank you for your message, Salah in Kingston. And then Salah says, Dervan, these ticket systems is a money-making thing. 35 million in 6 days. It is a budgetary support thing. Salah from Kingston. It is the law. Salah from Kingston. And so there are those of us who run afoul of the law and must face the consequences of running afoul of the law. If you think that the ticket was not justified, you have the option of taking it to court, going to court. Go to the court with your representative or whether you're representing yourself and put your position forward. But it's most unfortunate that is via bad behavior, one of the avenues for revenues in this country, as it is in every country in the world, is bad behavior. Because if you run the traffic light or you fail to obey any other rules of the road, then it's going to cost you. It happens all over the world. There's no magic to it. There's no magic to it. Which is why some of us try to be extra careful, to the point where there are people honking horns like crazy and we're not paying them any mind. Because there is no rule in the book that says you can turn left on the red light. None. And there are people who are honking like crazy when you're waiting on the light to change. And then they go ahead and turn left on the red. And they get a ticket. And then they complain. I'm just saying. We each must take some responsibility. It is so easy to blame everybody else. It is so easy. We need to be responsible people. We need to be more responsible. We don't live in a perfect world. Some of us make mistakes sometimes. All of us. We make mistakes sometimes. But we have to take responsibility. Thank you for your message, Salah. This one says, Mr. Malcolm, I notice when the Privy Council sides with lawbreakers, and you know I can't read that next word there that you put there, because again, you don't have to stoop low. If you have to stoop low to relate to people, if you have to go down, you're really undermining your character. You are debasing yourself. You don't need to do that. If you have a point that you're making, speak your truth and speak it clearly. Whether you're writing us a text message or you're calling us or whatever, speak your truth and speak it clearly. You don't need to be styling people. You don't need to be styling people, especially in a way that we cannot read and we will not read. We need to be more respectful. Anyway, let's see how much of this we can read. Mr. Malcolm, I notice when the Privy Council sides with the law breakers. Well, if the law is such that it is appropriate to apply a particular sanction or to take a particular action on the basis of the law. That's what they get trained. That's where they get their training. The Privy Council. This is the Privy Council we're talking about. And we're talking about judges and lawyers and evidence and precedents and all of these things. The law is not a joke thing, you know. It's not a joke. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. There's a retirement crisis in Jamaica, with only approximately 10% of the working population saving towards retirement. Many people do not participate in a formal pension plan, such as contract workers and the self-employed, and some are not eligible for a government pension. Every member of the workforce has the opportunity to participate in a pension plan and secure a monthly income for their retirement. Join Real Business every Monday at 9:30 a.m. for an informative discussion with Peter Rose Hall, Managing Director of BPM Financial, discussing the importance of retirement planning and the solutions to move Jamaica out of this crisis. Retirement Wealth Creation is brought to you by BPM Financial Limited, taking you higher.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5 menos 14. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 14. 现在几点了？5点加14分。14 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Let's go on with the message. Right. And there are some Jamaicans who big them up and think they're the best thing since sliced bread. Well, that's people's choice. People can choose to go to the Privy Council, or they can rely on our local courts, or they might want to look to the Caribbean Court of Justice, the CCJ, or find some other means. So what if they think that these people are the best, for argument's sake? That's their prerogative, if that's the route they want to take. We live in a pluralistic society, a pluralistic world, don't we? To each his own, as the expression goes. Anyway, the next part of the message. Then when the same Privy Council rules against criminals and they can do that, they do that on the basis of law. What is the law? That's the basis on which they act. And if the judge errs, there are checks and balances for that same judge. There's no magic to it, as I keep saying. There's nothing extraordinary. That's the way it has been for centuries. That's the way it has been. I mean, with changes here and there, it has evolved, and it's still evolving. Where's the rest of the message now? Oh, the rest of the message is that the Privy Council is more evil than Satan. That's so childlike. I wonder if these people really care about Jamaica. He says, which people? Patriotic Jamaican in New York. Thank you for your message nonetheless. Good afternoon to Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine. Here's another message. This one is from Spider. Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Is really true that if you break down on the road, you can't ask someone to pull your car? No, it's not true. That's the other thing about these times we're living in. It's the age of fake news, because everybody wants the likes that chronic singer or DJ about. Everybody wants the likes. The more likes they get, the more eyes that they get on their pages, the closer they get to receiving a check from YouTube or some other remuneration from TikTok, etc. It's a way to make some money. It's a way to make some money. So people are prepared to put anything out there, including everything. So no, there is no truth to that. What's the next part of this message now? Mr. Malcolm, they repair that section of Hagley Park Road and some sections of Spanish Town Road. Thanks for the update, Spider. This one says, Mr. Malcolm, there's a lot of water from a spring in southern St. James in a community named Malden Road. The spring is called Cups and Sauce. Millions of gallons of water is wasting from that spring, and the community has no water in their homes. Why can't the government save this water nightly in a catchment tank and distribute it to the people? It can happen. We are wasting too much water in this country. Well, the experts have long told us that Jamaica does not have a water shortage problem. We have a water distribution problem. Apart from the vagaries of nature, we have a water distribution problem, a water management problem. Revo, thank you for the message. We're going to forward it to Andrew Cannon as soon as we're able to. In fact, perhaps as soon as we wrap, we will forward this message to Andrew Cannon so that a member of the NWC team can be dispatched to see the nature and extent of the situation of the water going to waste. We can't afford to waste it. Not when we're having a meteorological drought. Salah sends us a message. He says, Dervan, that was said in Parliament. In Parliament, Salah, and you need to learn this. If you didn't know this before, I'd be shocked if you didn't know this before. In Parliament, there's a thing called immunity. Parliamentary immunity. So they can say things and nobody can sue them because they said it in Parliament. So those who didn't know that, I'm shocked, Salah, that you didn't know that. So not because you claim to hear them saying that in Parliament means that you're going to write us a message with those words and we must then read those on air. No. Anyway, he says that was said in Parliament. It's not my saying. I was just quoting from what I heard coming from the Parliament. I'm a supporter of the PNP, but I'll call them out just the same. Salah from Kingston. We hear you, Salah from Kingston. Thanks for your follow-up message. And right. All right, I see that we were taken up with the messages and didn't realize that there's a key message to tell us that the guest we were trying to connect with has been waiting. Is that the situation? Let's see. All right, so I'm just trying to retrieve my, okay, here we go. So I gather we have Ordia Ricketts who has been waiting and holding on the line, but because we had to be dealing with all those messages, we weren't able to. Ordia Ricketts, I've said all that I had to say already. When I was looking to greet you earlier on. But anyway, it's good to have you on board before we wrap. Sorry about that. Not sure what happened there. But good afternoon and thank you very much for joining us. Go right ahead. We have 5 minutes before news time for you to tell us all about tomorrow.
Thank you for having me. So, of course, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. And it's traditionally a day for couples. And we want to just share the message that, even if you are not in a relationship, we have a special dinner for you. So we have tailored a package for singles as well as for couples. So we have a special dinner tomorrow, and I'm just going to share some of the items on the menu. We have honey garlic shrimp as an appetizer. We have cream of potato soup. We have seasonal tossed salad. For the main course, we have pan-seared snapper fillet, chicken cordon bleu, white wine pork medallions, and we have a chickpea pasta for vegetarians. As the side, you can have market vegetables or whipped potatoes. And for the dessert, we have the option of molten lava cake, molten lava chocolate cake, or strawberry cheesecake. This is a very nice menu. For those who are celebrating Valentine's Day tomorrow, you can take out your partner, you can treat yourself, you can bring a family member, because Valentine's Day is not about just couples anymore. Right, Dervan?
That's right.
So we don't want to leave anybody out. The couples, singles, you name it, we are ready to accommodate you here at Hotel Grande View. We're located at 3 Ramparts Close, Montego Bay, and for those who are familiar, we used to be Grandiosa Hotel.
Right.
That's the name that is more well known here in Montego Bay. So it's Hotel Grande View, 3 Ramparts Close, or telephone number 952-1460. You can call us and make your reservations for tomorrow, and we're looking forward to have everyone here.
We're looking forward to hearing afterwards that it was a smash hit. That was a big success because of the support that you received. So we're calling it from now that it will be a smash success. Yes.
Yes, it will be.
All right. Wonderful.
It will
Sorry we didn't connect with you earlier. Sorry about that. We weren't able to bring you on air earlier. But you've given us more than enough to tantalize our taste buds and everything else. Thanks a lot and all the best.
Thank you too. Take care.
Right. You too. Bye-bye. Take care. So that's Grand A View Hotel having their Valentine's dinner tomorrow at Grand A View Hotel, located at 3 Ramparts Close in the friendly city, Montego Bay. And you have all the information there, so more power to you. All the best. Enjoy. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Monday, the 13th of February, 2023. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line. No returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5, live from Lung Peng Supermarket in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland. That's on, is it Beckford Street? George, yeah, one of those. But you can listen out and you will hear, or if you're in Savannah Lamar, well, we hope you'll join us at Lung Peng Supermarket. How about that? Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.
Afternoon, I am Dervan Gordon. Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines, today, Monday, February 13, 2023. Staff at the Registrar General's Department expected to return to work tomorrow following industrial action today. UC Rosal submits plan to resuscitate herd of cattle found starving on its property. District Constable shot and killed in St. Thomas. Endicom raises concern over delay in reporting incidents involving confrontation with the police. In business news, Board of Directors at Jampro appoints new president. The discussion segment of Beyond the Headlines with Dion Jackson Miller comes up after this newscast. The news is brought to you by Flow.
Bye.
Get value with a Samsung tablet or phone for only $999 plus GCT when you sign